8,
You're watching
7,
Experience Comic Culture and Sales.
5,
Streaming live daily to
4,
Facebook, YouTube,
3,
Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey everybody, I'm super excited to see you guys today. One thing that you guys might have noticed about creators is that they don't limit themselves to just one company to work for. You might see them work, for example, at Aftershock, and then see some of their work at Scout, and then maybe at KeenSpot. It's great because every single one of those publishers has their own kind of point of view and focus and feel and culture. And one of them is going to definitely be something that's right up your alley, whether the company or the title's the thing you're hunting for. I'm super excited today because here on the Experience on Talkin Shop, I'm going to be talking to two people. They just happen to be in the exact same room together because they're married and they're a creative team. So we're going to get to talk to Jonathan Hedrick and Francisca Fantini. And I know you're going to love these guys because they're adorbs. And they've got a long list of things they've worked on that you probably have on your bookshelf. So I'm going to be right back and we'll get to talking to them right after this. Everybody, and welcome back. Let's talk to our awesome guests, Jonathan and Francisca.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I always wondered if you guys ever faked like you didn't know each other and didn't do interviews from separate rooms.
That would be cool.
But why? When you have somebody you love in the same place, it makes sense.
Exactly.
So I love to get everybody's some background information about what brought you to comic books, or where did you start? What's your origin stories and those kinds of things, so people can get to know you, because you're the important part of this. Stories are told by a bunch of different people, but if you get to know the person behind the story, it gives you a little bit of insight into kind of the personality of the book. Yeah. So let's start with Francesca. I know that you're don't worry. You are an artist and you've done some amazing stuff. My favorite stuff from you probably is from Steak, but there's bunches like your cover art is just mind blowing. Did you always have this skill, or did you have any formal training?
So I do an artistic school and something like animation in 2D.
2D animation.
Yeah.
And then my dad is a painter.
Oh.
So.
Passed down skill.
Yes.
So did he show you how to go about it, or did you just watch him and kind of suss it out?
I think watching him was helpful for me. Mm-hmm. I was a little child, cities man painting all day. So yes, for sure, has helped me.
Yep.
Did he do that as a career?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. So what kind of was it just was it just doing art for art's sake, or was he doing for animation? What was his within the art profession? What was his specialty?
His medium, so
it's medium.
Painting mostly.
Painting, yes. No animation, no. Painting, sculpture.
And yeah, he sculpted and painted, and that's how he made his living.
That's amazing. That was all in Italy?
Yes.
What town are you from?
Where in Italy are you from?
Sorry. I'm North Italy, between Bologna and Venice.
Oh, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Beautiful countryside. Wow. That's gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And then, okay, so you were inspired by your dad's art. You were like, that looks cool, and I'm going to do that. Did you decide that you wanted to do it as a career? Or just for fun? Did you start out as it just for passion?
So I have to be honest, my idea career was veterinary. So totally different. But when I was thinking like to starting a study for study is the word for veterinary, I see there was like practicing with animal, so blood, and I said I can't do this. So after this, I work like a dog sitter, just for do something with animals. And then after that, I find online like I can call concorso.
A course, like
not course,
training,
like a challenge. They was challenging you to
a contest.
A contest, yes.
Oh, okay.
I said, why not? Let's try. And they pick me like an artist, and after this, it start everything.
Oh, that's awesome. I think this is funny when you say that you wanted to be a veterinarian because you liked animals.
Yes.
But then when you got down to it, when you're like going, oh, I'm not into the blood part.
No, I can't.
That happens a lot to people that they're like, I want to be a doctor because I like people and helping people. And then they're like, oh, no, I'm not cutting people up.
Yes.
That's amazing. So you entered a contest. They picked you.
Yes.
And that was the beginning of your career?
Exactly, yes. I started with an Italian publisher, and then I always like keep doing like a search online, looking for publisher, and I'm here. Luckily, I'm here.
So which American publisher discovered you first? Was that after Talkin Shop?
So the first was Advent Comics.
Oh, Advent, okay. That's wonderful.
Yep.
I loved it. It's interesting to me because Jonathan will tell you, I'm totally a fan of indies. Like that's my, I love, my Marvel, but I am really, I'll do anything for an indie book. And I just think it's wonderful that you were found each other for your company so you get started because your talent is just amazing. I love, to me, so your art style, are you using a watercolor mixed with regular like oils? Because it doesn't feel like it's all one or the other.
Is a gouache.
Oh, wash. Okay.
Gouache, yes. I keep very like fluid with aqua, so it looks like watercolor.
It's so beautiful, and especially for things like steak when it like needs to feel like kind of visceral, and I don't know, because of the the content of it, it just lends itself so well to the book itself. Brilliant. And then Jonathan, okay, so now we're going to do like the hard part. How did y'all meet?
Well, I was first reached out to Francesca, her for a cover, and it just didn't work out for some other reason, but we still stayed in touch, and then she had a trip planned to Florida to do a signing tour with David Byrne, who's also in Florida. And I'm in Florida, so we chatted more, and then one thing led to another, and I kidnapped her and didn't allow her to go back to Italy unless she married me. And it's the typical Shakespearean story,
What was y'all's first date? Do you remember? What did you do?
First date was at the sushi place.
Oh yes, when I ate the
So we went to a sushi place, and Francesca accidentally ate like a blob of wasabi.
Wasabi? Oh
no! And was on fire. And her English was, wasn't as good as it is now, and she was in pain.
Yes, I was like, don't throw up, Francesca. Keep your dignity. Don't throw up. It's the first time you are with John.
What is Italian for hot? It's not fuego, right? Is it fuego?
Caldo.
Oh. Caldo. Oh no. Which is so funny because I would have taken it the wrong way because it's a C word, so I would have been like, oh, it's cold. That's nice.
Right.
Yeah, I've been always chicken of wasabi. Like all my family will like take it and mix it with like the ginger and eat it. I'm just like, no, that's not happening. So that's awesome. So you guys fell in love over sushi.
Right.
How long did you guys date before you told her she can't ever go back?
She was in the States for about 4 months before we got married. But we had chatted a lot online before her trip over. We had gotten to know each other very well, and it was just, by the time she got here, I was like, all right, can we also interact in person too? Are these online conversations, can they continue in person, and can we cohabitate? And then so we got married.
I love it. That's so awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then, Jonathan, I met you probably, I don't know that I knew you before pandemic, but there were a lot of us that all kind of got to know each other because of a group that I just crazily put together called Plan C, which was literally, I own a comic book shop. I am going to stay open because I'm also a warehouse, so I definitely need new product. Is there anybody out there that can get us new product? And boy, you guys really pulled through. All you guys you saved my butt. So thank you for saving my biscuits.
But it works both ways. That helped us out too. So I think a lot of people got their eyes on their comics that probably wouldn't have gotten eyes on it, and that elevated a lot of people. So it's a bittersweet thing, COVID. It's terrible that it happened, but there is some lemonade out of those lemons.
It's so true. So true. So what was your first comic writing? What was the first book? If people are going to go back and try to hunt down your original stuff, what is it?
The very first comic book was called Freak Show Princess. And I self-funded that whole thing. I didn't even know what Kickstarter was. I paid for the art, coloring, lettering, printed 500 copies. And then I was like, now what do I do with them? And then that's the pandemic hit. Comic book stores shut down. So so things like Plan C and the great local comic book stores I have near me, I was able to kind of spread those around a little bit. Now I think I have maybe 10 left out of those. And I went on to print some variant covers too. I tried Kickstarter for the first time, and it was terrible at it because I didn't do my research and I jumped right into it.
They're tough, right? They look easy, but they're not.
No, yeah. Building the campaign page is its own science and skill.
It's like writing your thesis for your doctoral study.
Oh, right, yeah. And then I enlisted some help. I started asking other people. I backed other Kickstarters to learn how what I liked from other creators, what I didn't like other creators doing, and then the relaunch of the Freak Show Princess Kickstarter was successful, and then that kind of fed to the next project and the next project.
Well, that's a cool thing that you said. You looked at stuff to see what worked and what didn't work.
Right.
What were some good examples that you can give for creators that were doing just a really phenomenal job on what they were showing for Kickstarter?
Yeah, I mean, my buddy Travis Gibb, which is local. He's local to me. He lives right down the street from us. He gave me a lot of good advice, you got to get a variant cover, something from a bigger name artist. And then, I saw how people were doing stretch goal rewards and keeping people interested throughout the campaign, different reward tiers, things like that. Some of the more successful things like having a retailer reward tier, stuff like that. And I'm still learning, years later. I'm still seeing people run a Kickstarter. I'm like, I'm gonna take that idea and use it for myself next time. Or I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna see how that one works out for that person. And if it doesn't work out, maybe I won't do that.
I love when, just for me personally, I like when people have a retailer version, but I do also like it if they know I usually support them. If they message me and they're going, what can I do as a tier that works best for you as a store right now?
Right.
And sometimes my customers want something different than they wanted before as an incentive for them. Sometimes it's just something silly, just scribble on the front cover, even if you're the writer. They're you can only get that from us. Right. And it makes it special enough for us to be yes, now we can back it because it's not just the normal book. It's something that we can help them feel like it's a special thing just for them.
Exactly.
Coming through us, which makes me very happy. Hey, look, it's Bueller on.
That's our buddy.
We had a good time chatting the other day, and I was like, dude, we need to get together again and talk because he's got a great view into comic books, and he has a true love of them. It's
100%
inspired by him.
Yep.
And then Steven Spock is on. If you guys have any questions, like join in. This is a big family fest, so we can if you had a burning question all your life, you just throw it out there. All right, so here's the cool thing. I got to read already Can I Scream? And I can tell you that I am super excited for you guys to get to read it and see this beautiful art inside.
Thank you.
It is, I knew that it was going to be a book that I liked because it starts the way I like books to start. This is going to be weird for you guys to see this insight. The book starts on the exterior of a building, but there is comment coming from inside the building. I don't know why that gets me so happy, but it does.
I appreciate you saying that, Jen, because it was fairly recent. I saw a tweet from Ryan Stegman, who I love. I love his artwork. I've met him a few times, and he was, I don't want to say the word complaining, but he was saying something about establishing landscape splashes, and I'm sure it must be annoying as an artist, on his level, having to draw a 2-page splash of New York City, especially if it doesn't have a purpose. But that establishing shot in Can I Scream is important. It says, where are we at? Because this isn't a Spider-Man comic book. Spider-Man is usually, runs the streets of New York City. So, and it's a school. There's a sign outside that says it's middle school. And after what I hope people do after they read the ending of Can I Scream, they go back to page 1 again and they go, aha. At the very beginning, they get that aha. So we'll see.
Yeah, like even before that, when you have that kind of reveal 3/4 of the way through,
right?
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to go read this book a couple more times because there's got to be the way the art is done that makes it clear now. It's like when you watch movies, right? When you're like, well, now that I know this thing, I'm gonna go back and now all this, like for Sixth Sense, when you go back and watch it again, you're like,
yeah,
obviously.
Right. And I judge some of my favorite movies on, is this a rewatchable movie? Then that to me is a good movie, So I kind of went into Can I Scream with, I want this to be a book that someone would read twice.
Yeah, it definitely will be.
Thank you.
Yeah. So okay. So give everybody, because I'm afraid I'm going to go too far into it and give away things that I should not. So I'm going to let you describe what the book is about. I can only just say then it's amazing and just wait. I'll just say it's also not for kids. It's got some violence, so just know that.
Right. Yeah, I would say it's mature readers. If anyone's read any of my other comic books, you probably know that most of it's mature content, PG-13 or above. There's no nudity or anything like that. So it's about this mom and a single mom and her son, who are kind of on the run. They have fake IDs, and the boy has this superpower of like a sonic scream that he can't really control as he's coming into age. So they have to go from town to town as his secret slips, because she doesn't want him taken in by the government and being tested on. So the book is a one-shot, 32 pages, and it basically takes place in like a 24-hour period of his secret slips, and it's more damaging this time than it has in the previous times that we don't see in the comic book, but it's alluded to. what I like to, how I've been pitching it is it's a love letter to Stephen King's Firestarter. So if you've ever seen Firestarter, the remake, or read it, that's about a gifted father and daughter, and she has that pyrokinesis, and they're kind of, there's a agency coming after them. So I'm a huge Stephen King fan, so I like to put it out that way.
Yeah, and then so remind me. I don't think there is a big clue, but maybe there is to. When they leave, when they have like his power gets revealed and they have to leave, it looks like there's somebody that kind of like on the phone helps them. Do we know who that is by the end of the book at all? Or are we just still trying to guess it?
It's up to the reader's interpretation.
Okay.
And who knows, if the book is successful enough, maybe it'll warrant a second one shot, and we'll dive a little bit deeper in that. But it's alluded to how that person might be related to the mother and son.
Yeah. Well, I think I got that, but also I'm not sure. I mean, that can't be as that simple.
Right. It never is with me.
No, it's never that simple. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar with Jonathan's work, also had a hugely successful book that came out just ahead of Quicksand called Recount, and then did another series called Recount Preamble. And I can remember talking to him during interviews when that was out. It was weird because it happened right as we were getting ready to do our own presidential elections. Mm-hmm. And it seemed to, in the first couple issues at least, kind of mirror what was going on. And I was like, dude, it's something I should know.
Right. It was what I like to describe as eerily relevant.
Yes, it was. I was very happy to say it went a place that it did not go in real life. And if it did, we would be so messed up right now. Yeah.
It's a term or a genre I've heard for books similar to that is speculative fiction. And sure. I like to call the genre anti-political thriller because people, I start describing it and people are like, I don't like politics. I'm like, well, if you don't like politics, you will like this book because it hates on politics.
It's like if politics was run by the people that started the Purge.
Right. Yeah, that's how I pitched it to Scout. I said, House of Cards meets the Purge.
Perfect.
Yeah, all this Washington, D.C. people, they're already backstabbing each other for real, but now imagine, it gets, a little violent.
And then
a little.
Quicksand, you actually started self-publishing, and then you got picked up by, was it Scout that published?
Yep. I crowdfunded the first 3 out of 5 issues across 2 Kickstarter campaigns with the intention of crowdfunding the rest of them as well. Scout picked it up, but the way everything fell into place, it wasn't enough time. It would have been awkward for me to crowdfund issues 5 while they were putting out issue 1. So I elected not to run those Kickstarter campaigns. And, I think that would have hurt the direct market sales if I would have done that at the same time. It was a awkward scenario and with the timing, but all the issues are out some way or another.
Yeah, you should hunt them down if you like, especially if you're fans of, like, I'll just say like Tremors or this, like anything creature coming up from underneath the sand.
Right.
Not Dune. I just
not quite Dune. I like to tell people it's a little bit Starship Troopers meets Tremors, but it's not in a comedic way. It's a little bit of James Cameron's Aliens, but grounded on Earth.
Yeah, that's a good description. Absolutely. Okay, so when does your awesome Keen Spot book, Can I Scream, come out?
March 27th, next week.
Okay. So you got plenty of time to get with your LCS and make sure that they have that ordered for you. Or if they have it ordered, you can get it into your pull box. Do you guys, either of you have any projects you're allowed to talk about that are coming out post that awesome book?
Well, she does have a cover coming out for Boom, but we can't say what title it is. So
There's some chatter about it. I'm super excited to find out what it is.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see that in previews soon.
Maybe summer, I think.
Yeah, probably in a few months we'll probably see that one being solicited. And then I have some crowdfunding stuff. I've been doing some work for hire things that are going either the self-published route, which is great because I don't have to crowdfund that myself. I got paid and get to do that.
Yeah.
My series from Black Box, Dream Master, Volume 2 is in the works. So maybe at the end of the year or the second half of the year, we'll see Volume 2 in stores. And then, just keep an eye out on our socials, and there's more things coming down the road.
Is it easy to find you on socials, or do you have like super interesting tags?
Hers is on Instagram, Violet Art 22, right?
No, it's on Twitter.
Oh, that's on Twitter.
Yes. And Instagram is my name and surname.
Yeah. We've got a link up for you guys so you can see it.
And I also have my own website, which is kind of a good hub. You can find everything else on JonathanHedrickComics.com. I have links to Scout's web store, my stuff, Black Box's web store, Keen Spot's web store. You can go through there to find all the other places too.
Yeah, I saw on Francesca that you have an opportunity that people can ask for a special commissioned art. Is that true still?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a live signing and giveaway on Whatnot on my account the Tuesday night before it's released. I'm giving away 10 copies of Can I Scream. I'm signing them all for free, but people can purchase a remark or a blank sketch cover and get her to sketch it. So if you can't make any of our Florida signings that we have in April, this would be a good opportunity if you want to get something remarked or sketched out by Francesca.
That's awesome. Thanks, you guys. I super appreciate you being on here, and thanks for letting me pre-read the book. I can't wait for everyone else to get to do it. I'm sure I'm going to hand it to a bunch of people and be like, read this so we can talk about it.
Cool. That's the plan.
That's awesome. All right. Thank you guys for being here with us on the experience.
Thank you.
Next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.